Virgo. This is your May 2023 soul story. If you have a sun rising or your moon is in the sign, this is your reading for the month ahead. It's Romy. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me and support the channel. I appreciate you. So we're going to open up this month with the energy of the moon. We still have your ruling planet Mercury in its retrograde right now, and that can certainly bring about this inward focus and create around you this sort of haze and slight confusion perhaps at exactly what on earth is going on. And it may feel to you that a lot of things are not necessarily making sense. It's almost like if you tried to put them on paper, there would be no logical kind of flow to things. So the invitation here is to almost kind of bypass that logical part of you, which isn't always the easiest thing. But I think through the course of May, it is going to be a little bit of a magical carpet ride. Yeah, the next 12 months with Jupiter shifting into Taurus this month on the 16th and illuminating that 9th house of spirituality is really going to help to shatter many illusions and to draw out this knowing and this trust and this connection and amplification and profound sense of growth. And so I suppose the question that I think is going to be very much on your mind in May, but really with you through the remainder of this year, is what will you do with what you know? And this month, you know, moving between 9th and then into 10th house, as we move into Gemini season, there's very much this sense of, okay, I feel like the direction of my life is taking a specific turn right now. And that may be wanted, or it may have felt a little bit forced upon you through this eclipse season. However, you are at this point in time where there's a requirement, I think, to put the groundwork in this month and know that the practical and deliberate intention and attention towards the things that you want are really coming from a deeper sense of certainty on an intuitive level. And I just need you to trust in that, because not everything's going to make sense as you look at it on paper, okay? The moon also suggests that there's information and revelation certainly set to come to light. Now we have a lunar eclipse coming in the sign of Scorpio on the 5th of the month. And there is this feeling of this being an incredibly powerful wrapping up eclipse. You know, been working with this theme for some time. And, you know, there's an intensity to it, definitely. But there's also quite a cathartic quality. So the Tower says, you know, something does need to come to light. Something will kind of shatter the illusion, break through the haze, and kind of like release you from some sort of matrix scenario that has been playing out in your life. And for many of you, you know, that will come up in lots of different ways, personally, professionally, something going on in your world. Of course, Scorpio energy is lighting up that 3rd house, so how you're seen, the way that you communicate, the words that you're using, the thoughts that you're thinking. There's also connections in the 3rd house to neighbours, to siblings. So all of these things kind of swirling around as we build up to that eclipse energy. But remember what I said, there's an incredible cathartic feeling. I want to say to you, I feel that perhaps around this time in the month, there may be a feeling of misunderstanding. And I want you to try to bring compassion to the table, because I feel perhaps some of the individuals that you might be in contact or having to deal with or communicate with around this time are perhaps not quite themselves. You know, some of what they're saying or how they're acting might be a little bit unnatural or out of context. And so trying to sort of maintain your balance, trying to see all sides, but absolutely ensuring that you're staying in your truth, I think is going to be deeply valuable for you around that time. I think there's also going to be an incredible breakthrough for you. And this comes in very much on the basis of, you know, Taurus energy wants to bring life and form to things, to make it real, to bring some sense of a tangible manifestation. And I think you have some very clear ideas about the lifestyle choices that you want to make now, and that things that you've been investing and directing your energy towards. And you know that this is a month where you're going to be sort of birthing something new. Now, as Taurus really focuses upon what we value, as a Virgo, you also apply that stewardship, that sort of caretaking earth medicine to it, and something becomes incredibly sacred. which means that you really want to take care of it. You want to nurture it and you want to nourish it. And the reprioritization that might take place for you because of that epiphany, that breakthrough, that understanding that putting in the work now is really necessary. Page of Cups suggests here that, we are absolutely using our natural gifts. And, I would be inviting you to really reflect upon the things that come easily to you, the things that people often say about you as just being a really beautiful part of your energy and your presence, and really consider, how am I bringing this to the table in all areas of my life? Because Pallas Athena is shifting into Leo on the 2nd of the month. And here we have new strategies and solutions for bringing forth ideas and creativity and bringing heart energy, being moved by that heart energy. We also have Venus shifting into Cancer on the 7th of the month, again in relationships, in terms of what we value, even what's going on within our money story. There's this deep desire to want to seek a greater degree of safety, but also to nurture and nourish what we do have, to protect and to feel a little bit more intuitive and sensitive as to how it's affecting us. Yeah, how we are surrounding ourselves with certain people, certain vibrations, certain energies. And so there is this feeling, when I'm looking at these cards for you, Virgo, it's like the intensity, this sort of looming kind of, well, it's already been in flux, hasn't it? This eclipse sort of chaos and anarchy, if you like, that's going on in the backdrop. And yet there's something about you kind of in your bubble here a little bit. Just being able to, a certain degree, like zone out and detach yourself and say, this is what my reality is going to be. And, it doesn't mean that you're bypassing scenarios and situations, but on an emotional level, you're choosing not to connect to it because you understand that the kind of strumming of your own melody, creating your own music, creating your own choice about how you want to architect your life is the thing that's going to really help you to bring life and form to what truly matters. Yeah, so as we said, Jupiter coming out of Aries and moving into Taurus on the 16th of the month. And we now get to sort of harness all of that creative spark that we've been working with for the last few months. And, Jupiter in Taurus is really going to help to bring this sort of grounded, real feel to how we expand things moving forward. Now, Two of Coins suggests to me that actually there might be so much going on from the mid-month that you might be struggling a little bit to try to maintain that level of balance. It's just trying to almost figure out, where do I need to be? What is the most important thing right now? And I think the nice thing about this is earth energy, but also how we see the movement coming through, is that there's a significant amount of progression happening here. We have to be flexible. We have to sort of root in and be very clear about the things that we want, at the same time as being open to the best ways that that can show up for us. This is a month where we have choices. Sometimes when we're trying to make the right choice and decision for ourselves, it means that, we know that someone else is going to be affected, or other people are going to not necessarily get what they want, or be able to see something as harmoniously as we can. But I think that you have to be the one that pushes something through this month, that perhaps gathers the troops, brings people together, and really creates that vision so that, even if they're not necessarily on board straight away, that they do see the value and the merit in what it is that you're saying. And I think you can be very persuasive, especially with that Scorpio eclipse coming through in the 3rd. Like, what you say is going to hold a lot of weight and really sort of penetrate and cut to the core of something. And I think people will be able to feel into the truth and the resonance of that, even if at this moment in time they feel like it's kind of not exactly what they were hoping or wanting or expecting from you. Now, I also want to say to you, it's really important this month, Virgo, that you take care of something, that you don't put something off, because it feels to me like if it doesn't get dealt with now through May, then it's going to come back around and it's going to end up taking way more from you than it's meant to. Yeah, more money, more time, more energy. So if there's something, and with the High Priestess coming in, it's telling me that you know what this is, or you're certainly going to become aware of it through this month of May. Don't put it off. Just deal with it. You will feel much clearer in your thought process and in your ability to be able to manage everything else that you've got going on. And so if there is this time where you're thinking, okay, what needs to be prioritized? It's the thing that perhaps you don't really want to deal with. But please listen to me. If you don't do it this month, it's going to end up taking more from you than it should. Okay? So we're going to welcome our new moon in Taurus coming in, 25 degrees on the 19th of the month. Anything that is going on in your world from a spiritual perspective, and also where you're seeking to learn more or expand your horizons, especially if you're considering how you can connect to people from overseas. Perhaps there's travel plans, ideas, thoughts about learning about different cultures and traditions, how that can help you in new choices and decisions that you're making in regards to your lifestyle. All of this and your desires and your hopes, your wishes are really illuminated around this time. And I think you're going to have this incredible sense of drive and motivation, especially as the next day Mars is going to shift into Leo and give that impetus to want to sort of be seen and to want to be a little bit bold and brave in terms of some of the things that you are prepared to embark upon, to try to immerse yourself in. Ace of Cups suggests here that there's a sort of new start, a new beginning in the ways that you want to take care of yourself, but it also beautifully infuses into some of the relationships. I think where there's been something that you've had a deep sense or knowing about, and perhaps like the timing hasn't been right, but for a very long time, you've had this just deep knowing, this kind of psychic download that says like this is going to come together, or this is going to be what it will be, or this is who I'm going to be with, or so whatever that feeling is, I think there's some validation coming through, and you might be a little bit surprised actually in terms of what some of the revelations about others people's sort of feelings towards you, or what they what they want to present to you, what they want to make by way of an offer to you, and how that's coming to light through the course of this month. Remember, there's this statement, as I said, what will you do with what you know? And again, High Priestess is saying that there's a requirement here to take this kind of sacred approach to the information, the wisdom, the knowledge that you have. I always say we heal and then we teach, and the Ace of Cups says that the nourishment, the love, the respect, the value that you hold for the journey that you've been on, accepting even those parts and aspects that still feel challenging, still feel difficult. Something about this month of May that Taurus is really supporting to help you be like, okay, I understand where I need to take this. How this is going to be part of what my next chapter looks like. Now, all of this earth energy in Taurus is very supportive for you. It kind of speaks the same language. It feels like home. There's a sense of comfort for you during an earth season. So take advantage of this. And remember, you will have these moments where you're considering the what if, and that might be leaving this huge question mark. You might even have made some pretty bold choices and turned your back on something or someone, and then just sort of really wondered, was that the right thing, and what would have happened if I'd have made a different decision? A reminder that we never make a right or wrong. It's always just an experience to hold. So don't let that question mark kind of take up too much space in your mind through the course of this month. Like I said, May is a time where you're going to have so many choices available to you. So wherever you find yourself, even if you're kind of still feeling a little bit stuck, or you're still trying to figure something out and you feel like you don't have the information that's needed, or even if something around you has kind of really taken that unexpected twist and feels like it's kind of dissolving before your eyes, there's something incredibly like regenerative and something coming back to life, or coming into a sense of like a brand new energy or pathway emerging. So I feel like there's a confidence that gets almost like there's something that you can build upon, is what I want to say. That confidence will come in, and you can kind of really use that as a platform, if you like, to sort of pull yourself up in any area where you might feel that there's a bit of a dip or something that you feel is going against you. We have to let go of the comfort zones this month, and that might feel quite difficult, But what we're being able to do right now and what we're being shown through Taurus energy is the access to this inner wealth, this treasure, this richness that each and every one of us has at a soul level. And I think that, you know, it's very clear to you through the course of this month, Virgo, who sees that in you, who respects that in you, who will honor and kind of cherish that. And, you know, where people are not able to do so, there is a reprioritization, there is a withdrawal of your energy, there is a sense of becoming a little bit more focused and deliberate on saying, you know what, these are the boundaries and here are the things that I need in order to maintain that sense of balance. But you're still doing it in a compassionate way, which I feel is going to be really helpful for you. So I think the sort of key dates that I really want you to sort of pay attention to through the course of this month is certainly that lunar eclipse in Scorpio on the 5th. I think as Jupiter shifts into Taurus on the 16th, really pay attention to kind of what is being highlighted, that little nugget, those little cues from the universe. There's something powerful that's going to be foretelling of an experience over this next 12 months that I think feels quite exciting, okay? And that new moon in Taurus really elevating so much for you, and a really powerful one in terms of what you want to lay out. Revisit the vision board at this time. It's going to be really helpful. Now, if you're new to the channel, we pull the final 3 cards in the extended version of this reading, where we talk for another 25 minutes or so just to go deeper and see what else wants to shape the direction of your May soul story. I'm going to go ahead and pull some clarifying cards right now just to see what other messages are going to be coming through. The link for that is in the description and the comment box underneath. Okay, so we've got 9 of Swords with that moon energy. Yeah, it does feel a little icky. Hierophant, okay. That's Taurus energy showing up there, but it's also about the sense of commitment. Also it feels like restrained, conventional, trying to, or feeling like you have to conform to something that just might feel too rigid. Remember I said it just feels like you're breaking through some sort of matrix. You've got Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Fire, beautiful. Chariot, love that. Page of Air, Page of Swords coming through there. Justice. There's the Balance. There's your card, Virgo, Hermit energy. Strength. 10 of Cups, beautiful. Okay, we have 10 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands. Now this month I've got the Soul Journeys to support the readings, and we are looking in the light at sitting in the power where you have felt exhausted, depleted, drained. This is a beautiful journey to help restore, recharge, rejuvenate you, really help you to access energy from source. In the shadow, we're focusing on clearing a block. So that one thing that you know is getting in the way. Maybe you don't know what it is. We'll explore that too. And again, you'll find a link for this over in the description box. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just pull some oracle cards. This is from my deck, Life Soul Vision. You will be able to find that over on my website. You'll also see Moon Musings. This is now over on Amazon, available for global delivery. And you'll also see the ebook and the audio version available on Amazon, coming online soon. Please do check them out if you're inspired by my work. Okay. We have Energy Conversations. Yes. Sacred Soul Union. Earth Medicine and Magic. It's been showing up a lot for May Soul Stories. Karmic Cause and Effect. Enlightened in the Exhale. Okay, 2 wanted to come through there, so we'll take them. We've got Soul Star Energy and the Spirit Owl, Sacred Secrets. High Priestess coming through, and that Sacred Secrets does suggest that you're privy to information, or there's something that you're holding on to until the right time, I think, to share. What will you do with what you know? Yeah, back to that. Okay, this is the Enchanted Map Oracle. Ride the Wave, beautiful dolphin energy coming through. Okay, Virgo, if you want to join me for the extended, we will go much deeper into this cosmic conversation, and I look forward to doing that with you. Otherwise, I will wish you well for this month of May. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate your support of the channel. you.